Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Divine Chick Collective, and I'm going to bring another one of my opinion videos or my reaction videos to you. So I hope everybody is doing well. I am just gonna ask you guys, as always, to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Ensure that you click the like and turn your notifications on so you do not miss my videos. With that said, let's get into it. So the year is 2020. The month is November. The day is the 7th and the time is 9:30 p.m. And we officially have President-elect Joe Biden, the 46th supposed president of the United States. I want to take some time to congratulate the United States of America. I want to take some time to really pay homage to everyone within that entire 51 states that either voted by mail, was in the early voting, or voted on election day. We are in your eternal debt. We are in debt to you. We owe you so much. So I just want, in 2016, I woke up to a reality that I honestly couldn't believe. I couldn't believe that this was going to be the reality that my son, my little black boy, was going to live in. But we've had to endure over the last 4 years, and hopefully, without contention, we will be moving forward with a different president. And I say we will be moving forward. Everybody knows I do not live in the United States. I am not an American citizen, but I really feel that the United States direction sort of sets the tone and the direction for the entire world. And things that are happening in the United States affect the lives of so many people outside of the United States that for you to turn a blind eye and to pretend that this does not impact you would really mean that you're not a global citizen and you do not understand how these current events, how politics really impact your lives wherever in the world you are. So if that's your excuse, then you should probably get it together. But really, what I want to spend a little bit of time on this video talking about is actually not politics per se, and it's not even the 46th elected president of the United States. That's not what this is about. This really is about possibilities. And I want you to take some time to reflect on that, because I've heard the feedback from a lot of people is, how could we vote? We did not have a great candidate in Trump. We did not have a great candidate in Joe Biden. Therefore, I would just not vote. And boy, I can make another video about that, because honestly, I think that you have a duty as a citizen to act. And your inaction really is an action. And oftentimes what that is you're really supporting the other party, the one that you're really so against. You're really giving them the boost by not actually stating where you stand as a human being and as a person. But when I talk about possibilities, I'm not talking about who the 46th president is elected. I'm really talking about who the elected vice president is. That is more important to me as a black woman, as a black mother in 2020 than who the president is. That is more important to me, because for the first time in history, a woman has been elected vice president. And for the first time in history, a black woman has been elected vice president. And for me, I'm filled with so much joy and I'm filled with so much gratitude because Kamala Harris is standing on the backs of giants, so many giants that have come in front of her. And she is so representative of not just the people that voted for that ticket, but for so many Black women, Democratic women, and for so many Black mothers and Black children, where we want them to grow up in a world where there are possibilities. And to really recognize where we are in 2020, we have to recognize where we are coming from. Now, I won't go back. I won't go back to when we weren't allowed to have an education, when we weren't allowed to have a voice, when we weren't allowed to vote. I won't go back there, but I really want to recognize that those experiences are the fabrics of the DNA of the Black woman. And it is with those experiences where we push forward, where we overcome, where we recognize the possibilities and we take those opportunities, because representation at any level is important. At any level is important. Now, I want to bring you, if you haven't watched or the speech of the vice president-elect. If you haven't done so, you should. And then you should watch the speech of the president-elect. And then I want you to pay particular attention to what happened after those speeches were given. The families joined the vice president and the president-elect on stage. And I want you to go back and rewind your tapes to the point where VP-elect Kamala Harris walked back to the stage to get that little Black girl, her family member, that little Black girl, from behind the crowd and brought her forward and brought them forward. And that moment alone summed up everything that has occurred over the last year and a half, and even the better part of 2020. That summed it up for me. That made it worthwhile for me. Because I saw, and I am seeing, faces that look like me ascend to greatness, to positions where they can be impactful. Where little faces like me, like our daughters, our sisters, that look like us, can ascend to greatness, and they can be impactful. They can make decisions that matter. And in the year 2020, what could be better? What could be better in this moment? And if your response to this win is, Kamala did this back then, Joe Biden did this back then, my response to that would be, let he who is without sin cast the first stone. And I say that because I would hate for anyone to use my past as my present to say that I am incapable of change and growth. and evolution to say that the person that I was last year and the behaviors that I dispelled last year are the definition of who I am in 2020. I would hate for you not to recognize that people can change, people will change, and that you hold the right at any given point in your life to change who you want to be, who you are. So I'd hope that the VP-elect and the President-elect be given the grace to become better people for every one of us. For them to restore some humanity to the fabric of who we are. So I would say this time around, America didn't vote for perfection, didn't vote for perfect people or people that have not made mistakes. That's definitely not what was on that ticket this time around. But America did speak so loudly that equality is more important to them, that equity is more important to them, that racial injustice, racial discrimination, systemic discrimination, that they're taking a stand with their voices, with their ballots, with their votes to say, not this time around. And I'm so thankful that you had the courage to step up. But more importantly to me, when my son wakes up from maybe another nightmare, a bad dream, where he tells me that he's afraid, that he's gonna die, or that the police are going to shoot him. At least this time I can say there's somebody in office that understands that, just like mommy understands it. And there are people in office that are going to take steps to ensuring that you're safe and that you live in a world where you can reach your full potential. At least I can say that. Thank you for sticking through however long minutes this is. I really thought that it was an important time in history. To speak your truth and to declare what side you're on. Be well, everybody, and I'll see you next time.